Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and as always, huge massive thank you for the support. I really do appreciate it. So today I'm coming back again with special days. This is the luxury topper collection designed to sort of be useful throughout the year for all the occasions that may pop up. And this is the stunning. It's just stunning when when butterflies appear, and it sort of goes down that sort of sympathy route, but it's really pretty. And you've got these beautiful butterflies on. You've got this sort of bigger topper here that says, "Those we love don't go away. They fly beside us every day." You've got a heartfelt sympathy. You've got these little foiled butterfly buttons. Thinking of you. You've got your beautiful butterfly on its own there. And butterflies appear when angels are near. And then you've got the border as well. And then for the foiled one, you've got this beautiful sort of foiled butterflies all the way along. And I think those are kind of like orchid-like. They look beautiful. And then you've got these printed one here. Obviously, you could just cut that in half. You've got two cards there. And then you've got your inserts to match. So for this first card, even though it's a sympathy card, I'm kind of, it's probably a bit too showy, this card, for a sympathy card. But I'm kind of thinking like maybe an anniversary of a bereavement where you just want to let somebody know that you're thinking of them, you know, a year or 2, 3, 4 years down the line. You know, people still feel these things on the same date. So what I've done to start with is I've taken a piece of Adorable Scoreable. It's not this year's colours. I think it's either last year, year before, or before that. I've got like a wedge of Adorable Scoreable about this thick from over the years, because I hardly ever use it. So I'm trying to get myself into the mindset of using it more. So when I sort of thought about doing this card, I kind of thought maybe this one would look nice, and it does. You know, those colours do seem to be in that set. We've sort of got those paler lilacs there. So I've cut this to 6 by 11, and this is a really stunning fold. This one, it really is gorgeous, but it does take a little bit of thinking about. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is score this all the way down at 3 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to fold that in half, and then along the fold line, actually no, what I need to do before I do that, I nearly forgot, is I'm going to score at 3, and then I'm going to turn that around and score at 3 again. Okay, so we've got, just remember all the 3s, so down the middle at 3, and then 3 one end, 3 the other. Okay, now I'm going to fold it, and I'm going to pop this in, and at the 3.5 inch mark, I'm just going to make a little indentation, and at the 7.5 mark, just going to make a little indentation. And then I'm going to turn this over, just using my board again, at the 4.5, just going to do an indentation and 6.5, and then I'm just going to turn that around and do the same again on the other side. So 4.5, 6.5. Okay, and if I pop that away and bring in my ruler, so what you should have now is little dents just a little bit down from those creases, the big creases that we've made, and little dents at the corners. And what we're going to do is just take our ruler. So I'm just going to put my little ball tool into that dent I've made, and I'm just going to do this, score down a couple of times to go to that side one. And then this time what I'll do is put my ball tool in the dent on the side, just because it's easier to score towards me. Okay, this one we're going to go into the middle dent and out to the corners, and then again, so I've just got a little bit of gloop under my ball tool there. Let me just grab that. There we go. Okay, so you should have what looks like kind of, it's not a hexagon because it's only, well, I suppose it is, it's six-sided in the middle there. I'm hoping if I tilt that, yeah, it looks like you can see it across there. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just go along and burnish down these folds. So the better you burnish these folds, the better it will fold. Now these folds here, you're really not going to be able to burnish them really well, but just be careful. I mean, I know I've creased a little bit there, but you just want to get those moving in the right direction. And I'm just putting my finger behind just to support that going over. And again there. Okay, so now we've got that moving. Now, just going to pop your sort of hand on each side, and then you're just going to push up whilst pushing down at the sides as well. And then what you'll find is that this will come up and ease gently into that fold like that. Okay, now we've got one side going. It's slightly easier, I think, on the other. But let's just get that moving. She says it's going to be easier. Obviously it's not going to be. Come on. Let's try moving my arm down a little bit. There we go. So you're going to bring it up like that. If I bring it to the side, oops, I'm going to squash that there like that. And then if I ease that down, and in, there we go. Now I have bent that up a little bit, which didn't happen with the white card. Just going to go around and give these a really good score down. I want them to stay where I want them to be. And we've got our card that's going to go into this shape like that. So that's how it sort of is. So let's just see if I can smooth that out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that side where I've sort of bent it a little as my front, because my topper will come over the top of this. So it's not a hard fold, but it's just a case of just keeping that paper under control. Like I say, with the white card, with the 300 GSM white card, I didn't have any problem with the sides trying to bend as well. So it may just be because this is a coated card that's done that for me today. But that is the base of our card. So there's not much to decorate on this card, to be honest with you. There's literally these two squares here, which are 3 by 3. In terms of an insert, you have got a bit of space to write there. I'm guessing you probably could, you know, just pop an insert in there, flatten it out to write, maybe not when the topper's on. But there is a bit of space there. Okay, let's put that around the right way. Okay, so let's move into some layers. I'm going to take some gold mirror because there is gold on this kit. And I'm going to cut this at 2 notches under the 3. And 2 notches under the 3. I mean, this probably would be perfect for if you've got any of those topper pads, whopper topper pads. You know, because all you're going to need is a little bit of cardstock. If you've got a little bit left over, it would be perfect. Now I'm going to use this foiled piece. So this is going to be 2 3/4 for the layer. So 2, 4, 5.5. So I'm going to cut this at 5.5. Be brave and trust my maths. And then I'm going to cut this at 2 3/4. and 2 3/4. And if that is correct, that should be perfect. Okay, so we've got those pieces there, and they are going to go perfect onto there. And I think what I might do is bring in, because there's quite a big space there, I might bring a bit of ribbon. And if I've got this sort of pale one, which is very similar to the cardstock, so we only need a little bit, but I'm going to do it on both. I don't know if I'll put a bow on yet. I might just leave it at just a ribbon border. But let's grab some, actually no, let's put this on first. So the glues I'm going to be using are the Cutaway all-purpose glue, the Cutaway tacky glue in the white one, and I may bring in the Hunkydory permanent dots tape runner. Then again, I may not. This one might be more of a glues kind of day. Okay, so we're just going to pop this on nice and straight. That's that one. And then again this one. So just going to get that into there quite nicely. And then if I grab, just might go with the thicker red line of tape, let me just swap that over without disturbing any of my wires. It's one of the wires that connects to the computer, and if you touch it, it shuts the camera off, which is a real pain in the bum. So that one. Okay, so let me just turn this one over. So I want them to look the same, so I'm just going to pop this up on my mat. I'm kind of thinking covering that halfway line would be perfect. So if I pop this down, and I'm just going to pop that on there, peel this off. I will glue it down, but I might need to just amend it a little bit if it's a little bit high. Nope, that's perfect. Just trim off those little edges. I can pop that to the side. And then I'm going to do the same with this one. Actually, just make sure those legs are not moved. I'll pop it down again. Nice and straight. Pop that on that halfway. Peel that off. Just tuck that back. What I'm going to do is just make sure they are about the same. If they are not, that one's a bit better. that should be better. So, almost perfect. Okay, so I'm going to pop some tacky glue behind there. Make sure that ribbon is stuck down. I like to put a bit over the top as well. And then we can come in with our all-purpose glue. Which way is going to be best? That way is going to look better. So just put that on, just open that back out. Sure that is nice and straight. So because I know the orientation on that one is the ribbon to the side, I can come in on this one and do the same. And then when we pop that together, we've got those exactly the same. Okay. Now let's put that to the side. Now I'm going to bring in, for the topper, I'm going to be using these 5mm foam pads. And I think I'm going to go with this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to need all of these, whether I'm just going to use the centre part or not. Just being careful not to break these little frames because they do come in handy. Okay. So normally with these sort of cards, these sort of bits go to the back. Okay, so it looks a bit like a collar. I think it's going to be easier to do the other method. So the other method to put a topper on is to take a piece of white card. Actually, I'm not going to use white. I'm going to use another piece of that adorable squirrel just in case some of it comes through. And I'm going to cut that to 4 inches. I'm going to bring that down to 2. And just while this is on here, what I'm going to do is just score that across there, just quicker than getting the scoreboard out. Okay. So we've got our sort of hinge now. What I've also done is just taken the straight edge nesting dies, the fancy label, just took the largest one, which is just a tiny bit smaller than that topper, and I'll pop that out and I'm going to bring that back in because I will be using that. Okay, so for the hinge, I'm turning it inside out because if any of it's going to be seen, and it probably won't be, it will be this bit with the colour. Sorry, I'm not really showing that very well. So it'll be this bit with the colour rather than having it that way round, because this is going to be hidden by our topper. Okay, so I'm going to pop that on that way round. So I will do that. Actually, I'm going to pop a little bit of red liner tape on it just to hold it. And I'll prepare the topper while we are working. So pop that onto there. And pop some construction all-purpose glue all around. And then I'm just going to line that crease up with the top of my card, popping that into the middle. You can see that our topper is going to come over the top of there. Okay, so let's work on this. So I'm going to pop some 1mm pads. I don't know why I took that off there first of all. It's just going to make life difficult for myself. 1mm pads around here. Pretty sure most of it is on there, so I shouldn't have to worry too much about foam pads. Maybe I should. Let me just go. They need to be just a little bit thinner. Let's take that off and start again. Oh my goodness. This week with my videos I've been testing, let's put it that way, testing. It's because I've been so busy, that's why. With another project that I can't tell you about yet. Let's just pop these out and off. Alright, let's pop a little bit of glue on. Just rub it in. It's just going to help me get this off. The alcohol in it for some reason really works. Then I can take a glue eraser. And that's going to finish it off. Just make sure you hold your cardstock nice and firm so that it doesn't bunch it up or ruckle it up in some way. So again, do the same thing here. Put the eraser in. This glue eraser is worth just chucking in your basket. Not expensive, couple of quid. You can get them from other places as well. You can just see how that brings that back. Let's say if that was all to be seen, you wouldn't have any problem with that whatsoever. Okay, that's doing okay there. Alright, let's try again. Let's do these super skinny and keep them to the inside. I do want there to be quite a nice amount of support. So I do keep these things in because I just think if I do it, then other people must do it too. And we come up with some ways to fix these things, but that rubber, that eraser, should I say, I think it is called the glue eraser, but yeah, it does a great job. Another one there. I think we just need one more. On that side there. Okay. So what I'm going to do is peel these off, put a little bit of tacky glue on. So just a few little pips there, so just pop those off with my nail, squish them down. Okay, I'm going to use my tacky glue. Just a nice amount on, just to cover me if I do happen to get this in the wrong place. I'm just going to take my card, pop that central onto there. Okay, nice and easy. And then this one I'm just going to come in with some tacky glue, and you could leave it white. If you don't mind seeing the foam pads, you could do that backing piece out of acetate, but it's just that you would be able to see the foam pads from the back, which I think kind of spoils the illusion a little bit. Right, so I'm just popping those in, just giving those a little press down. Just a little bit of glue there. It's only PVA glue, so not tacky glue, so I'll just shine that back up. Okay, and then this one here, we want some 2mm foam pads. I'm going to use these 5mm rather than get some more 2s out. So what I'm going to do is just pop 3 on here. This is going to come out quite a long way. It is going to need a little bit of a box to go in for sending, or so probably not the best one to post, but you could go lower with these pads, go with a 2. We're going to go with some glue there. I'm just going to, just because I thought about it, so now I'm going to have to do it, just put a bit of support on those sides. Oops. Apologies. There we go. So just that there. Oh, no, the sticky's not off. There we go. Just if I happen to put it in a box, I don't want it to squash at the sides. Come on out. You need to come off. There we go. So more glue, more tacky glue. There we go. Right, now I'm happy. So let's get this butterfly up the right way. And we can pop that on to there like so. So you can see we've got a huge amount of dimension is the word I'm looking for. Okay. So this card, it doesn't take a lot of card, and it looks fancy, but it doesn't take an awful lot of time. So I'm just going to pop some of this all-purpose glue on there, and then what I'm going to do is fold it flat, fold this down, and I'll put that straight in the middle, and then you can see that's going to pop forward quite a bit on that piece. Still going to fold down nice and flat, she says. There we go. But that is the card as it's looking at the moment. Okay, if you wanted to, what you could do is glue that on the bottom. You'd still be able to open this up a little bit, but not a lot once, you know, if somebody wanted to write in it. So it's better, I think, to have that little flap on there. So I'm going to bring in some gold gems. I'm not going to do any little bows or anything. Actually, I want some bigger ones than that, I think. So let's bring these ones in. There we go. I think you probably want to be about this side. And I think I'm just going to go with 4. I'm going to go even numbers today. It's very rare for me. But we're just going to pop them on this down each of these corners. Over. And I do need a sentiment as well, so I'm going to steal one of those in a second from the kit. Okay, that's that. And then just, oops, falling over, for the sentiment, I think I'm going to go with this little button, thinking of you. There. Come into there. Okay, so that is going to be our first card. I know online some people have said if it splays out a lot, they do one of those little W, sort of take a piece of card, maybe 2 inches, and then score it at 1/2 inch, and then glue 2 sides in, just to try and keep that together a bit. But you do then lose the ability to write inside it. I think probably if I was going to do anything about that, I would probably just glue that straight down and have that sit like that. But I kind of like the way it does pop up. But you've got options there. But it's just that little, I think it's called a double diamond stand-up card. But that is going to be the first one. So I'm just going to get set up for card number 2. Okay, so for card number 2, I've got a piece of 6x6 folded card. It's the same 6x12 that I use. I've just already folded it. And what I'm going to do is take, let's pop this arm out, that will make things easier. And I'm doing a cutaway card, so I'm going to take this to 8 inches. And I'm going to cut that piece off there, so it's going to leave me with a 2-inch flap at the top, and then I'm going to do 2 inches on that piece there for the bottom. Also got a piece of, this is Crafter's Companion Heavyweight Acetate, and I'm just going to cut this down to, I'm going to go 4 inches. A decent sized piece left over, and it's already just under the 6, so that's perfect. That's going to give the support to my card. So am I going to make it up first? Yeah, let's make the card, put the card back together first, and then I can go through the layers and things. Okay, so this Crafter's Companion Acetate, usually it has a cover on one side. There we go. Now, not all acetate has this, and the only way you can tell really is just by scratching a corner on both sides. It's just a protective film that the Crafter's Companion one has, like you can see. It just means you get a lovely shiny piece of acetate. And then what I'm going to do is take some red liner tape. I'm going to pop this along this bottom edge, and this piece here, which will go back in here, we're going to put a piece along there as well. Now you don't want to go right to the edge, because we're going to use our layers to hide all these workings. So if you go right to the edge, then you might still see some of the glue afterwards. So what I'm going to do is take that off, and I'm going to line my acetate up in that middle part, and about even down, and then I'm just going to pop some PVA glue, some tacky glue along there. It will glue it. Wouldn't be enough to keep it, I don't think. or I wouldn't rely on it personally, but as an addition to some red liner tape, it's perfect. And then all I'm going to do for this last bit is just pop that on, line it up with the bottom of my card. That's all I need to do, and then shut that down. And again, I'll pop some tacky glue over there just to help that out. Now when I put the next layer on, I need to pop some red liner on again, because my glues will not stick easily to this acetate, although it will be glued here, so it's not going to be a total disaster, but it's just, I just always feel comfortable knowing that that's there helping support my card. Last thing you want is for it to fall apart. So in terms of decorating my card, I need a piece for here, which I'm going to use the insert. I've already cut that to 5 3/4, and a gold matte layer, and then these two are 2 by 6, so we need some layers for that as well. So let's pop that to the side, because we've already got that. I cut that on the only reason I've done that beforehand is because I cut it on the guillotine. The insert paper doesn't really cut well with this trimmer. It leaves it kind of fluffy on the edges, which is a bit of a pain in the bum. Okay, so for the back piece, the back piece is going to be 2 notches under the 6 on 2 sides, and then our little insert, which is gorgeously printed by the way, is going to fit beautifully onto there, and that's going to go behind. So you will see a hint of it, but it's not the feature of the card. And then we need to, if I cut this down to 2 notches under the 6, and then I can go 2 notches under the 2 and 2 notches under the 2 for there. And then if I bring in this piece of cardstock that we had left over, shall I use the other one? Just look at the other one. No, I'm going to use this one, decided. Okay, so I'm going to cut this to 5 3/4. Oops. And then I'm going to cut this piece to 1 3/4. Actually, what I'm going to do is just take a slither off the bottom, 1/4 of an inch off there, first of all. And then I'm going to take that to 1 3/4, which means I've got that butterfly border. And then if I go 1 3/4 again, I've got that floral border at the top. I've still got a decent piece of card there as well. Okay, so let's do some gluing, and then we can deal with our topper. So because this is paper, let's get this one on straight away with some dots and some all-purpose glue onto our memory card. There's red bits and the red liner tape everywhere. Just going to float that to where we want it. And then when I'm happy, I can just press those dots down in the corner. Just going to give it a good press down, because you know, eventually somebody does want to write on this, and the glue can dry with bits in, which can feel like you're writing on something under the page, which can be annoying. So it's just worth giving it an extra little flatten out. If you want to be super sure that you've flattened it out, what you can do, let's just put that in, is take your burnish out. I usually take the softer, sort of more angled side, and just give it a little press over like that. It just squidges that glue around and make sure there's no bits that can dry into a lump. Okay, so I'm going to go with the gold butterflies on the bottom. So I'm going going to take that off ready. Put my normal glues on the bottom. Put a little bit of tacky glue there. And then what I want to try and do is still get a white border all the way around. And if it could be nice and even, that would be even better. Okay, and then now that's on there, we can just go back to our normal glues, because we're just going on to cardstock. There we go, like so. And then I'm going to do the same on here, just whip this one off. And I'm going to pop some glue on the bottom half. Some tacky glue in those corners and a little bit along there. If I make sure I've got it lined up nicely, give that a press down, and that red liner tape will glue that nice and sturdy. Now I've got a choice here because we've got those there. What I could do is go with the flowers going up. I think I kind of like it better with the flowers going down. Or do I? Decisions. No, I'm going to do it with the flowers going up. Just kind of makes a little bit more sense to my eye. But I think you know, both would look okay. Pop it on. Keep that pressed down. You can see as that stands at the moment, you've got the light on it a bit, but it's a pretty special looking card. Let's go back to our toppers. I'm going to bring this other one in with the frame. And I haven't decided on the sentiment, but I kind of like the butterflies up here. So my mum loved the butterfly. My nan didn't. My mum made her a card one time. Probably one of the first cards she ever made, bless her. And well, it wasn't the first card, but she'd give my nan a few cards. And Nan goes, oh, butterflies again. It was during the peel-off, you know, days. When you used to put 3 peel-offs together to make wings grow. My mum was heartbroken, bless her. Okay, so this is the plan. We're going to have that across the centre, hopefully in the middle. And I'm going to bring that up. Now, I don't think... do I want this one on as well, just to elevate it a bit further? I think we do. Okay, so first thing I need to do is just pop some foam pads along these long edges. So let's see if we can get it right first time. There we go. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You have to let me know what you think of that first fold. It's quite an impressive one, I have to be honest. Don't think it popped open quite as much with the white cardstock. And I did feel like it was slightly easier with the white cardstock. Don't know why. But it is quite an impressive looking card though, so it's maybe worth keeping that for if you've got a special occasion coming up and you're looking for something to impress. Okay, so I'm just going to go, just go, no, I've gone a little bit too far that way. There we go. Okay, now this one I'm just going to glue over the top. So what I want to do is just pop some tacky glue over the sort of top bits and leaving out the middle bit. It doesn't matter if there's glue behind there, it's not making contact because it's not going to stick to anything and it's not going to show. Just kind of need that to be in the middle, so I'm just going to use the point to sort of help me work out where that is. And then this one, what we are going to do is use some 2mm foam pads. Let me just grab some, many on the side. Okay. And I think what I'm going to do is just trim these down a bit. And all I need to do is pop these along this piece here. So I know it's going to fit inside this frame because this is the frame it's come out of. What I'm also going to do is just take a super skinny 1mm one, put that on there and on there, and then that should keep them all at the same level because that's already at 1mm. So 1 and 1 is 2, or it was when I went to school. You never know what's changed these days. Okay, oh, I've got a bit of blue there, so let's get rid of that. And I'm going to pop some tacky glue over all of those. You know, I like to make sure I've got the opportunity to change my mind a little bit. Although this one should fit perfectly back into that spot. And I think it did need that extra pop of gold just to bring that out from that design. So let's see, we could go with a heartfelt sympathy. I'm thinking maybe this one if it's not too big. I think maybe it has to be that one. I think it needs to be that little one down there. Maybe I can't really see that. Let's see if that one makes a difference. No, they blend in a bit too much, so we'll leave those off. I'll use those on the other cards. I think I'll use these 2mm ones, seeing if I'm at that height. Pop some glue on. If you don't like the sentiment, you could always just grab something from your little book of sentiments, or you might have one left over from a previous kit. So go there and just grab some gems again. And I think we're going to go with 3. Okay, we'll go with 3 in this corner and 1 in each of the others. So when in doubt, you can't go wrong with the gold to match the mirror. And the glue does of course dry clear. round. There we go. Okay, and that's that second card finished. So let's bring in our first one. In there. Trying to not fold flat, but it does. So those are the two cards for today. I will put this template up on my Pinterest, Facebook and YouTube, so you can keep that in case you have a situation where you think that's going to come in. Like I say, you know, if you've got dies, you know, even like the little books, think of those little books where you've got, you know, one topper that you can die cut out, maybe put a couple of layers on. You're only going to need a little bit of cardstock or paper just for those sides, just to pretty those up, and maybe a bit of gold mirror or adorable scoreable something behind it as colour, and you've got a really stunning card there for a very little or very few things to go on. But that's it for today, so thank you so much for watching. I'm going to continue on with this little series with the special days, and I will see you again soon with another one. But until then, happy crafting. Bye.